Hi, I'm Trish. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just touching in on the Idaho 4 case. Apparently there's a witness for the defense. It says secret witness. I'm just wondering what this is all about. So anything here you can tell me about? This is Bryan Kohberger on trial, the trial for the Idaho 4 victims, Maddie, Kaylee, Ethan and Xana. Just some cards to show what this witness brings to the Bryan Kohberger case. So the cards here are showing that there was struggles, fights around the house, maybe the victims or some kind of fights going on around them. It could also indicate somebody with mental struggles as well in this case, but relating to the house and exposing secrets about undercover drug related. So what was going on under the surface, drug related, or undercover in relation to drugs in some way. So an undercover operation of some sort, maybe related to drugs. So exposing some kind of secrets here. Now it did say secret witness. Exposing something going on undercover, something going on in the dark. Because we've got the Hermit. So maybe somebody knows something about that. I can't imagine that it'd ever be put out in public though. Okay, now the other thing I want to ask here is I want to just go back, touch on BRENT CONNECTION, only because the lawyer for Bryan Kohberger sounded like she said Brent instead of Bryan. And when I read on BRENT CONNECTION last time, I got that there's somehow a connection between these two cases. So I just wanted to really touch in here and see if maybe Brent knew something. Okay, and what he knew. Okay, so just touching in on BRENT CONNECTION first of all. BRENT CONNECTION. Did he have some kind of information regarding the Idaho 4 case? Did he have information or evidence for the Idaho 4 case? Okay, so there's some rumours here around this. Rumours to do with the BRENT CONNECTION situation. So maybe not everything is as it seems with this. A crime of opportunity and innocent. So him being innocent. Okay. Maybe he had information around Bryan Kohberger being innocent. So why then was it a crime of opportunity? Okay, it says here something was seen and some kind of note ransom can mean like some kind of evidence or something that he had. Okay, so can you show me how these two crimes are connected? So you said that there's a connection between what happened to Brent Kopacker and the Idaho 4. Can you show me what the connection is here, please? Okay, so these cards show the connection between the two cases. This is my Bryan Kohberger card. So this card here is, in this case, I read as Bryan Kohberger. So evidence for Bryan Kohberger, or of Bryan Kohberger, but payback. So coming around, payback can be money. The Wheel of Fortune can be money. But how is that connected? It says Wheel of Fortune, evidence or statement. So evidence for Bryan Kohberger. How are they connected? It's about destroying, because you can see the fire here in this one here, destroying evidence around Bryan Kohberger related to a confrontation. So something to do with a confrontation or risk taking, a risk. It was a risk. Brent Kopacker have evidence for Bryan Kohberger. What kind of evidence did he have? Something around a confrontation. Marks left behind. Innocent. It's a wrong direction. So what kind of evidence would he have? It would be something, he has evidence around some kind of confrontation where there's actual marks left behind somewhere on someone, maybe. Too late now, we'll never know. But maybe he had evidence on his phone which was wiped. But what evidence did he have? Shows innocence again. Again, that we're looking in a wrong direction. Okay, so we know that family connection could either mean related to one of the families, or it can be fraternity's a family as well. Evidence that he had around the family connections. Somebody being tied or restrained. And something organised, a ringmaster organising something here. I'm just going to let the cards go where they want to go here. Brent Kopacker had exculpatory evidence for Bryan Kohberger. How these read. Now we're looking at a wrong direction here, so whether that's the case going in a wrong direction or my question being the wrong direction. But it's saying evidence, because I asked would Brent Kopacker have any exculpatory evidence for Bryan Kohberger. Evidence card, Bryan Kohberger, side by side next to each other. Ransom or note left behind. So note, that just means that there was something. He had something. He had some note, or he had some message. I know it's not handwritten notes these days like the picture, but he had something. He had some kind of evidence that showed maybe Bryan Kohberger was in a wrong direction or a different direction. He knew too much and wanted to talk. Hangman, sacrificed. Hostage or trade. Wheel of Fortune, payback. Now this card comes out again. Could that be trade from co-packer to co-burger? Trade. Payback. What's going on here with these two cards? Again, it's showing restrained here, tied, restrained. Car accident. Chariot accident, car accident. There was an accident out front of Bryan Kohberger's house. Again, we're showing somebody traded or restrained, tied, hostage, trade. There's something here. I've not put my finger on it, but there's something, I'm feeling something here. Big. Related to the accident that was out front of Bryan Kohberger's house. A female. Somehow a trade of some sort that took place. Or a payback. A payback. Maybe just off the top of my head, could it be like a Bryan Kohberger not participating, payback for not doing what he's told, not doing what he was asked? Okay, I'm not sure about that one. Let's reread these, just skimming back over this one. And the question was exculpatory evidence for Bryan Kohberger. We've got wrong direction, evidence for Bryan Kohberger. There was some kind of information left or something left. There was information left behind. And that would have been what Brent had. He knew too much and he wanted to talk. He was sacrificed. Traded, perhaps. Traded. Traded Brent for Bryan. A payback of some sort, or having information around a payback. Evidence for a payback. Somehow tied into this is the car accident out the front of Bryan Kohberger's house that night, and there's police records of this. Now, I think I heard the audio footage on that, if you can try and track that down. The audio footage for, and it could have even been like police vest cam. Audio, I thought I heard a female say, "Please don't kill me," is what I heard in the background, which is giving me these vibes here. How is Bryan Kohberger? How is Brent co-packer in this scenario? Because that's what I asked. Maybe that's what he had information about. Okay, this could also be tying up the case, like had information, wanted to talk about information that would tie up the loose ends. Or they were tying up loose ends, because both of these are tying, restrained, but I feel like it's tying up. So he had information, wanted to talk about something that would tie up loose ends around Bryan. Somehow related to this car accident that was in front of his house. The accident out front of Bryan Kohberger's house somehow related to the crime of Idaho 4. The Idaho 4 crime, was it somehow related to the accident that was out the front of Bryan Kohberger's place? The same cards over and over again now. Okay, with regards to the accident out front of Bryan Kohberger's, we've got Bryan Kohberger here, but showing wrong direction again. Masking something, covering up, not showing true face. Wanted out of a situation. Again, hostage or trade. Coming out again. Okay, unaware of surroundings. Bryan Kohberger sitting on top of that. Maybe that just means Bryan Kohberger wasn't home when that happened, like he was in a different direction or a wrong direction. Okay, there again, there's something here. There's something here that I can't put my finger on because the same cards keep coming out. Wanted out of something. Unaware of a situation. Or unaware what was being played out. Leaving marks behind. Maybe trying to leave setup or something behind. Now, if he's guilty, he was trying to get out of it. It's hard to read it in that form. I want to know what this trade means. What is the trade or the hostage situation? What are you trying to tell me there? Again, the Wheel of Fortune, the payback. I'm going to validate that one. Get more information. It keeps coming out. So we're either looking at payback for an aggressive attack or a confrontation, or payback was an aggressive attack or confrontation, connected to a hostage or trade situation. Running out of time can indicate timing, but dark web recorded, 2 crimes connected. Okay, what are the 2 crimes? More to this, it just goes so deeper, and I feel like the more I probe, the more questions I have. I just don't want to lose connection, which I feel is happening. Okay. What's 2 crimes? Drugs. Marks left behind. Yes, that's a correct path. Dark web recorded. I'm going a little bit quicker because I'm losing energy, I'm losing connection, and I just want to get some more out. Bottom of the deck, 2 crimes connected. What's the trade? What was the trade to do with? Okay, here it says social media, to do with the house. Could be webcam. This is the emperor being the person in charge. Hidden cameras, hidden social media. This is phones, digital footprint, viewing on phones. And this in relation to trade. Wrong direction. Think about it differently. Think about that a bit differently. Okay. Final words here is the lovers, being Ethan and Xana, either doing something risky or foolish in relating to some kind of trade or trading something for something else. Trade is either, I'm going to be blunt here, trade, and it may not be this case, but trade can sometimes be human trafficking. But here it seems to be a trade, one thing for another. So, or a trade of some kind of trade. Trade can also be drug trade as well, to being honest. So here we're talking Ethan and Xana, the lovers, involved in some kind of risk taking or something foolish, undertook something foolish, related to some kind of trade that was going on, and which resulted in a confrontation. Now, they tell me that over and over again every time I read on this. When I tapped into Maddie and Kaylee, they said the same. Look at the confrontation that took place around Ethan and Xana. Saying it again as his final word, needing to look at that, very important. Ringmaster was organised, so whoever's in charge, the ringmaster had to organise something here, and so a level of strategy and planning had to take place here, related to missing drugs. I can't read that any clearer. Missing drugs. Okay, always fascinating, this case. Will we ever get true justice for the 4 victims? I kind of don't think so. There's a lot of cover-ups, I think, in this case, but always interesting to read on. Always says the same things over and over again. Same cards come out all the time, but it was a little bit interesting to read the connection here with the BRYAN and the BRENT. That was really fascinating, I found, so I really enjoyed this reading. I'll watch it back, and yeah, I think there was a lot here, and there was a few things that came up that I couldn't quite put my finger on, and I feel there's the intensity I felt with the energy of those cards, but I don't know enough. I mean, I know quite a lot about this case because I'm very interested in this case. So I do know a lot of things, but I can't quite put my finger on what they were saying, but what the cards were showing me and making me feel as that was very important in this case. So thank you for watching. I will see you next time.